Sky Blue Fans TV. Sky Blue Fans TV. For the fans, by the fans.
Well, good evening. Welcome to Sky Blue Fans TV. Yes, I'm Milesy. I'm in the hot seat tonight. Now I'm having a few technical issues. So tonight we've got coming up, we're going to be talking about the New England manager, Thomas Tuchel. Is Bissett the missing link for Coventry City to get their successful season underway and hopefully get us and get into the playoffs? Will Bissett and will Tavares start on Saturday? And who would you pick for your starting 11? Let us know who you would like to see in the starting 11 on Saturday. And finally, can the Sky Blues finally break the Deepdale curse? Who knows? Let's just wait and see. Let's see what the panel has to say. First of all, we're bringing in Claudio. Good evening, Claudio.
Good evening, Miles. 2 days from another game.
Good evening, Claudio.
Good evening. I'm here. I'm loud.
Hello,
and clear.
Claudio. Can you hear me? He's there. He's on the screen. Let's bring in CJ.
Hello, Miles.
You can hear me.
Hello, Claudio.
You can hear me at last. Good evening, CJ.
Hello.
You all right? All good?
Yeah, all good. All good.
So I reckon there's a bit of delay here. Can you all hear me okay?
We can
Yeah,
hear
we
you.
can hear.
Good. Excellent. Just I'm going to have to change something here. This is all good now. Good. Excellent. Right then. So let's have a little chat then. So see, first of all, our first subject this evening, New England manager. German Thomas Tuchel. Let's hear what you have to say, being an avid England fan that travels home and away all over the world watching the mighty.
I think it's sad we couldn't have got an Englishman in. I think it's very telling, the current state of coaches and managers in this country, that we literally just can't find anybody. I mean, there was 3 foreigners that I did say I don't know whether tolerate is the right word, because one of them's now the manager, but I don't know, I suppose that I would accept. And I mean, 2 we were never going to get, which was Pep and Ancelotti, and the third one was Tuchel. He's available. He's a proven winner. He won the Champions League with that Chelsea team, and yeah, and I'm relatively happy given the circumstances of the fact that we've taken a foreign manager on. Something that I think we do need to mention. I've said it a few times, and foreign managers never won the World Cup. One has won the Euros. So let's just hope that we can book that trend now in the next 2 tournaments.
I mean, it was a shock to a lot of people in England, especially football fans of England as well, and probably around the world. It was probably a shock that they have obviously taken on Thomas, who is German. I watched his press conference. He seemed pretty chuffed that he's got this opportunity to be a manager of England's football team, and with the talent that we've got. And for me, I'll come to you again, CJ, before we bring in Claudio on this, because he's Italian. We don't care about him at the moment. He can go and just put his feet up, right? So we ain't interested in any of that. But for me, is this guy the guy that can get the best out of our Phil Foden? Because Phil Foden, for me, he's got to be the best player in England for me. When he's playing for Man City, he's unbelievable. He hits shots from anywhere on the pitch. It goes in the back of the net from time to time. I mean, is he the man that can get Phil Foden ticking?
Yeah, I believe he can. I mean, I kind of disagree a little bit. I think there's players performing better than him in the over the last 12 months or so. Which, let's be honest, he's a special talent, isn't he? But you've got lots of Palmer. I think he's been outstanding. So yeah, I think he's been superb. So, and that's one of Foden's problems, that you just happen to have got a player there that plays in a very similar position that's played better than him in the last 12 months. So, of a similar age. So yeah. So as much as I want to see him, in that team, it's very difficult at the moment to shoehorn him in, as we saw in that game last Thursday. When we just tried to shoehorn everybody in. Yeah, so ultimately, apart from a striker, yeah, I mean, he's certainly the sort of person that can get the best out of players. The only thing is, he does tend to fall out with people. Every single club he's been at, I think, he's pretty much fallen out with someone, whether it's the players beneath him or the hierarchy above him, which he does okay, he does well, and then obviously he didn't have a fantastic time at Bayern, but I'm not sure how that happened. I mean, it is a little bit of a freak, freak season, really, with how well Leverkusen played in all competitions, and they just had the season of their lives, basically. But I don't think he can be blamed for that too much. I think he certainly got Kane playing one of the best seasons he's ever had, which is a big thing. And hopefully we'll see that going forward.
And were you surprised he's not starting straight away? Because obviously he's not coming in until after this tournament. I thought he would come straight in.
Yeah, I personally would have put him in and then have Carsley kind of working with him, possibly for the November break before he goes back to the 21s. I think that would have made a bit of sense, but maybe he just wanted a bit more of an extended break.
Yeah, because I mean, this is crucial now. These next couple of games in this tournament, we have to win, and we have to win comfortably to finish top of the group. And you've told us this before. If we don't finish top of the group, we could end up seeding somewhere else in the World Cup. Not now. Is that okay? Is it?
They've changed it completely now.
Oh, there we go.
They've completely changed it.
There we go. But what about the playoffs? So they're in March, aren't they?
No. For the Nations League, yeah. So basically, the way it works now, we are top seeds in the World Cup qualifying. It's done pretty much on. I think the Nations League does have part to play, but it's more done on the FIFA rankings. So we're about like third. We're the third best ranked team. So
brilliant. Happy with that.
We will be a top ranked team. We want to be promoted. I mean, just because we finished second doesn't mean we're not going to be promoted. Just means we have a playoff in March to see. We play against third place from a team in the league above, which would be quite interesting. Rather than having friendlies, because next year we're either going to end up with 4 teams in our group or 5. So it's either 6 matches or 8. That's for World Cup qualifying. So effectively, we need to. I mean, it'd be nice to have some competitive games. If we're not in the playoffs, I believe we're off to New York in June, playing the States and maybe one of the other teams. Well, there'd be one other team there who play there, I think. So that's what I believe is happening.
You'd be happy with that then. You'd be happy.
I'll be happy with that, yeah. But we're going there. We're gonna go and win the World Cup there, aren't we? The year after, so So after beating Italy at some point along the way, again.
Well, we'll come to him now. I just want to send our apologies for Victoria, because Victoria has caught a bug at work. She works for the NHS at the hospital, and she's not very well. So we just want to hope you're getting better soon, Victoria. Hope you're feeling a lot better. And Ken might be joining us. He has been now get this. He's been DJing today at a funeral. How about that? Hey. Good luck to that one. I don't know how you can do that. Blimey, I'll be scared. Claudio, we'll finish off on England. We'll just finish.
I say he wasn't just playing the one.
This off about England. As an Italian,
I missed that, Miles. Say it again. Sorry.
I hope he ain't. I hope he hasn't.
Say again. What was the question?
So, because you're having loads of technical. So, being Italian, what are your thoughts? And what were your thoughts when England appointed a German as Thomas Tuchel as our manager?
I think it's a terrible appointment. I mean, 50% of the fans can't say his name, and the other 50% are disappointed and still can't say his name. I just think, what are England doing, really? Top nations should have one of their own. I don't care how bad they are. Italy have suffered a few, but I don't think I could follow the Italian national team if there was an Italian manager. It just doesn't seem right. It just does not seem right. The top nations. I can understand a developing country having even the Scandinavian countries over the years have started now having their own managers, whereas years ago they didn't. They sort of tried to bring people in. South American countries doing it now with their own. I just think it's a bit embarrassing. I mean, it's embarrassing for the FA because what's the point of having these pathways if you don't promote people through the ranks? I just find it odd. I find it really odd. And I find it odd that he's saying it's one of his proudest moments. I think you're German. Why would you want to be manager of England? How can that be one of your proudest moments? It just seems weird to me. It seems really weird.
I think it's worth mentioning, following on from your point, it is, as I said earlier, it's a sad state of affairs. Now, keeping in mind down the years, the FA have said a number of times, it's English managers need to be given a chance. English managers need to be given a chance, and now they've given their two top jobs to foreign managers, which is. I didn't like it. I didn't like it when Weigman went in there. I mean, I know we had Sampson before, who's Welsh, but which is again something I didn't like. But ultimately, we've now reached a stage where both the men and the women's senior teams are managed by foreign coaches. I didn't like. To be honest with you, I think he's a good coach. He comes very highly recommended. Didn't even like the fact that Hasselbank was in the camp during that World Cup because, quite frankly, we came up against Holland. He celebrated like everyone else to an extent. If you watch the video of him thinking, "Oh dear," his face just dropped halfway through the celebration. That might have just been something or nothing, but yeah, it's something that just bugs me a little bit. And I think FIFA should do something just to say effectively, look, you need to be managed by by somebody from your country. I think that would, obviously,
it doesn't look like money well spent at St. George, does it? Really, if you're bringing in a foreign manager, it just seems really weird. That the idea was to blood people through, and they're not doing it. Actually,
yeah. No, I agree. But do you know what? I cracked up laughing today because Jack Thomas, who comes on here from time to time and we go to the games together, sits with us at the ground. He sent a link today of TalkSport. I don't know if you've heard it. I couldn't get it up on here tonight, but some guy phoned in TalkSport when they were talking about Tuchel. That is how you spell his name, isn't it? Tuchel, whatever it is. I don't know. Am I saying it right? I don't know. It's German. I'll ask Will. He speaks German. He might know. So what I say, this guy phones up TalkSport. It's quite funny. I don't know if you've seen it. And he goes, so they go to him, what do you reckon then to this appointment of the England manager being German? He says, well, you know what? He said, I would have had Mark Robbins.
It's Jamie O'Hara, wasn't it, that went absolutely apoplectic saying, "Have you
Yeah.
seen Coventry start to the season? Have you seen this?" You know, obviously there's other reasons behind that, but yeah, it was quite amusing, I think.
It was. Let's get some comments on this England manager. Have we got any in there, Claudio, please?
We
got subject.
got Mark Patman. Evening, guys. Having a German as England manager. We are having a laugh, aren't we?
We can't sing that song anymore.
Mark, can you
It's very much frowned upon anyway, to be honest, Miles. It doesn't really ever get sang, to be honest with you.
Good.
Well, hello, everyone. Bring on the German. Borgate and Carsley finally going. I don't think it's more exciting with Thomas, what's his name?
He's not known for attacking football, is he? Let's be honest.
Evening all. At least it guarantees an England-Germany final now. I'm not sure about that. Paul Cuthbert, he can't start England job till January because of a clause in his contract. This is why top managers don't work for 12 months after a contract at a top football club.
Ooh, there you go.
The top. Bear with me as I work down the list. And Assassins Unite, we've got Super Tommy. It's Tuchel, isn't it? He knows exactly what we need. Assassins Unite thinks that he's going to win trophies. Tommy Tuchel equals trophies.
Well, let's hope so.
And Wayne, I'm all cool. It's about winning trophies for me, not what's on your passport. However, I do understand why others oppose it. And Nation Radio, he obviously heard the Arsenal fan who phoned in TalkSport asking for Mark Robbins. There you go.
Brilliant. Love it. Excellent. Right, and let's get on to our next subject now. Under 21s or under 23, I don't know. Wow, under 23s beat Birmingham 9-0, wasn't it? Was it 9-0?
8.
No, 8-0. 8-0 the other night. It was free to get in. I didn't go because it was a little bit chilly for me to go for a reserve game. But there was one man on the score sheet. He scored 4 goals. And I don't know if you've seen his third goal, but it is unbelievable finish. And I know it's only the reserves. I know that. I know we shouldn't get too excited. But to score 4 goals in any game, doesn't matter who it's against, what division it's in or whatever, he's scored 4 goals in a game. And his third goal was absolutely magnificent. And here he is celebrating his hat-trick. Okay, there he is. Norman Bassett, or everyone's calling him Bertie Bassett. Now, we'll come to you, Claudio. As I've just said at the beginning of the show, is this man the missing link for Coventry to have success this season and to go up?
That's a big ask, isn't it? I think we've got nothing to lose to play him on Saturday. I really don't. But we're on a bad run of form. We're not producing much in front of goal, are we? We're not scoring enough goals. This lad's full of energy, and I think we just got to use him while he's here. While he's young enough to play, just play him. I mean, you look at Sunderland's midfield, average age 19. You know, this lad, he obviously knows how to score goals. The one with that finish was brilliant from that angle, absolutely brilliant. And that's, you know, that angle's no different at any level. It's still the same angle, isn't it? Wherever you're playing, and he took it fantastic. I really think it's worth a go because we need some energy in that team. We've got hardly any pace whatsoever.
I mean, he closed the keeper down on one of them, made the keeper make a mistake, and that's what we've been missing as a team. The high press as a team, not just one person pressing, but the whole midfield pressing at the same time as the forwards. We've been missing that, and Bassett could probably bring that to the team, couldn't he, Claudio?
Oh, definitely. Because he did it against Spurs, didn't he, in that game where he was pushing forward and he was, especially that second half, the way we started, and he started doing it, and virtually half the team started doing it. I mean, whether or not that's the I don't know, but he definitely led the line. You're not going to get Ellis Sims doing that. He's not going to chase down at that pace anyway. That's the scary part of it, isn't it? He's so quick, isn't he? I mean, he tries to close people down, and he looks like he's got a bit of fire about him. And Asante is similar, I think. I don't know up there on Saturday.
Yeah, well, we'll get onto the team later on. We'll talk about it. But CJ, I mean, have you seen these goals he put away the other night?
I haven't. No, I think I've seen 2 of them. I was watching some of the highlights earlier, and there was some comedic. There was some comedic defending and keeping in there, wasn't there? Let's be honest. I mean, obviously every goal counts, but yeah, I think, Christ, I mean, we were just basically giving it. They were just giving it to us, weren't they? Some of the time. I think, yeah. I mean, look, he's looking pretty. He's looking pretty good, isn't he? In there, I think he hasn't looked out of place really when he's played in the first team either, has he?
No,
you wouldn't say I mean, you wouldn't say he looks like he's going to, go out and score 20 goals this season, but also he hasn't looked like he's going to massively struggle. And he looks like also the sort of player that's goal scoring isn't going to be the only thing that we can be judging him on, which, other players you might say that about, I suppose. Maybe that's a little bit harsh, but yeah, I think he's looking like I said. I've been reasonably impressed by him. He hasn't had a 10 out of 10 performance, but he's generally, in the few times we've seen, he's probably been like a 6 out of 10, I suppose. And he's looked pretty promising. And obviously, he does. When he's running with the ball, the way he carries it, the way how he. And just the way he runs, he does bear a bit of resemblance to someone else, which you never know. You never know there.
You never know, do you? You definitely don't. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because obviously our Hadji Wright has been away on international duty. There he is on the right-hand side in the USA kit. And they won their first game but lost their second to Mexico. And then Joel Attabodier, he played for Jamaica, winning 1 and drawing 1. I mean, it's a hell of a strain on them travelling-wise. Now, I do know in previous international breaks, Mark Robbins has brought Lattabodier straight back into the team after an international break. Hadji Wright not so. He's put him on the bench, and then the following game he started him, give him a bit of a rest. And this is why I was talking about Brissett. Here's a question for you both then. Would you start Brissett over Hadji Wright this week? Claudio.
I'd start Mason Clark over Hadji Wright this week, as far as I'm concerned, on the left-hand side. I've not seen enough of him this season. Hadji, he's playing like he did at the start of last season. And you mentioned the other week where he gets the ball on the turn and sometimes he just doesn't go for it. He stops, and he did that a couple of times against Sheffield Wednesday. So frustrated, and we don't need that at the minute. We need vibrant, lively players who, when they're on the ball, want to get moving. We need to start game basically, and more pace, more energy, be more assertive. And I just feel he's a bit of a selfish player. I mean, on a Sunday morning, you'd call him a greedy so-and-so, wouldn't you? Where he runs off with the ball, won't pass it, and then does something ridiculous. And once out of 10, it might hit the back of the net, but it doesn't, does it? I mean, that woman who broke her arm, from what I gather, that USA match, she was sat by the corner flag. He had a shot.
You Burke.
I just feel, I mean, you hate to say it looks like his heart's not in it, but he don't look up at all at the minute. And coming back up for an international break, he'll be on the bench. I'll be amazed if he starts. Absolutely amazed.
Yeah. CJ, I mean, as you've just heard Claudio there, and alluded to what I've said a couple of times on this show, is that he picks up the ball, he stops, waits for someone to come towards him, and then he tries to take the player on. He doesn't pick it up and run, does he?
Not so much this season, no.
No.
I mean, there's just something not quite right with him at the moment. And I mean, Mason Clark, with somebody his age, should just be able to just come in and basically. I know he's new to the Championship, but you should be able to expect him just to come in and kind of fill in really and make a claim for that shirt. He hasn't done that yet, and that's one of the issues, and that's why maybe Wright is getting in the team a little bit more than maybe he should be. And they're both the same age, I think, aren't they? I think about it. They're both what, 25?
Claudio, Google it. Claudio, Google it while we're doing this because you've got double
I
screen.
think Wright's 25 as well, isn't he? Don't know.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah. So they're both the same age. So, I mean, ultimately, you know, the shirt's up for grabs, quite frankly.
Do you think
we've got 6 games until the next international break, and Wright has got to do well in these 6, I think, to get in that to be playing in that international break. It's a little bit surprising, really, that he got picked this time.
Do you think that they haven't cemented their place because Mark Robins? They haven't. Do you think though they haven't secured their places because Mark Robins is still unsure of his starting 11? CJ,
I think it's been a problem for Robins for a long time. I think if you asked him at the end of that League Two playoff final, who is your starting 11? Who do you want to start week in, week out? He probably couldn't have told us. And that was in League Two. And I still think I remember talking on this podcast, on this vlog podcast last year about this time, where I was talking about Fan Hub. And there seems to be a lot of COF fans that were getting 11 out of 11. Because they could pretty much predict the 11. So we were thinking, oh yeah, okay, well we're kind of turning a corner a little bit, but now it's kind of moving this player out and changing things, and you know, and it's it just doesn't seem. We just don't seem to be getting a settled side.
No, I mean, I haven't got 11 out of 11 yet this season. I haven't got 11 out of 11. Yeah, no,
I think I did. I think I did once, and I happened to pick 2 of the bonuses, so I got 13. So, but I think most of the time I'm literally getting like 8, 9s.
Yeah.
So even injuries.
Wait till you see the team I've picked. You'll all laugh at me. Everyone's going to laugh at me about my team. Right, so let's get on to the next one then. So the boys have been away, as we know. Latabodier's been away. Then we've got the youngsters being away. Aidan and Kai has been away as well with Wales. They had a pretty good result against Italy. Wales did the other night, under 19s, 3-3. And then they beat they beat them as well, 4-3. Oh, that's good. Well done there, Kai Andrews. Brilliant stuff. And Aidan came away with a win as well, 3-0 win away at Chile, and Chile under 20s beat them 2-1 in their second game. So they've had a good international break, those two. And then what else we got? Where's my picture? I've lost all my pictures. All my pictures are gone. Hold on a sec. Where's my other pictures gone? Here we go. And then we got our goalie, Dovin. I don't think he'll start Saturday, but Dovin played twice, and he was on the. There seems to be a theme going here, doesn't it? They win one and lose one, or they draw one and win one. Sweden won 3-2, and he made a howler in that one against Georgia. I don't know if anyone's seen it last week. And then Netherlands beat them 3-0. And then we've got Brandon Thomas Asante away on international duty, 0-0, and they lost 2-0 as well. I don't know if he played. I don't know if he kicked a ball or anything. Does anyone know? Let us know if he did. Now, while we're talking about those on international break, the reason I'm talking about that is because do you start Tavares this Saturday? because Asante's been away as well. Would you start Tavares on the right, Claudio?
No, you've asked us to pick our 11. I never even gave Tavares a thought.
Yeah, that's later. Yeah.
I know, but
Yeah.
I
Do you
never
think
gave him a thought because he's just been
Wow.
so much
No.
out of the picture. That I didn't even think about him. And I think that's why Mark Robbins must feel, I think, because the amount of setbacks and injuries he's had. I think sometimes with some players, it happens at a lot of clubs where they probably have got the ability, but because they have so many setbacks, they get forgotten about. And I think he's one of those players. And I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we can't afford to loan anybody out at the minute, but he's the sort of player who could end up being loaned out in January. Even though he can't really let anybody go. I mean, hopefully to bring somebody else in, if I'm honest. But no, I wouldn't start him. I wouldn't, not the minute.
But he did score the other night for the under-23s, CJ. But the reason I brought up Tavares is because Robbins has had a limited amount of players in this week to train because of the international break and that. So there hasn't been everybody there. Do you think this is an opportunity for him to come in and try and take that place?
It's an opportunity for him to stake a claim, I suppose. But I'm the same as Claudio. He didn't even figure in my mind, to be honest with you, to play. I do think he's. I don't know. He's shown he's been good in spells. I've seen him. I mean, I saw him play a lot for the 21s, and he was scoring a lot of goals. And almost every single one of those goals, we'd look at each other. You know, the few of us that were kind of stood there in the middle of a muddy field in the rain. We'd be looking at each other, and we'd just say he would not get that opportunity in the Championship. He just wouldn't. You know, there's no way. He'd probably be struggling to get that opportunity in League One. You know, maybe I'm being a bit harsh on him because at the end of the day he's scoring and that's all he can do. He can only play against who's in front of him. But generally, it was down to defensive mistakes or frailties or just inexperience of those players. And I think we don't really want to be expecting too much of him. And I think he would benefit massively from a loan. I personally, last season, I would have gone to Darren McAntony and said, "Look, we'll give you a little bit more money, you know, for Mason Clark, rather than knocking off that $750,000. We'll give you a bit more than the 4.25, and you can have Fabio till the end of the season, and we'll take Mason Clark now. Possibly that might have benefited." Quite a few parties, and I don't think he ended up playing for them that much towards the end of the season, did he? I'm not 100% sure. I think he was dropped a little bit here and there. So they do tend to do that. I think Clark Harris was kind of frozen out a little bit here and there because he wasn't signing that new contract. So it's they do tend to do that. So. But like I said, I would have possibly done that. Maybe even sweeten the deal with Godden as well. Maybe said, look, you can have him as well. But I don't know. But just I think he would have really benefited because although he did play a reasonable amount, I think he would have played a lot more in League One, and it would have been a lot more of a benefit to everybody for that to happen.
It probably would have kickstart Mason ready for this season as well because he would have had half the season with us to then go into this season.
But obviously they wanted to keep one of the best players from League One last season on their books for a bit longer to push towards the playoffs. So
I still feel it's weird though that we spent $4.5 million and we did what Peterborough wanted to do. I'm thinking, well, we're the Championship club. You're Peterborough. We're offering you $4.5 million. Take it now. We'll go elsewhere. We'll get another player for $4.5 million. I find it odd that we sort of played ball with them. It just seems weird because, who's in charge? We're buying your player. Surely it's.
I think him and King. I think McAntony and King do have quite a good relationship. I think the deal was done with. I think McAntony said something like he came off a plane after a transatlantic flight. Didn't expect it to be going. Barry Fry told him, "We think he's going to be going," and they had a conversation with them over the phone. And apparently, King had a few pints from what McAntony said. So, yeah. So he said I was more than happy to deal with him. But I mean, I think it is quite a good person. I think it is quite a good link to kind of little link to have with them, because they do seem to produce a lot or bring in a lot from like the National League and so on. And they do unearth these gems. So it is probably sometimes, just for the sake of a few months, maybe it is worth just saying, okay, yeah, we'll take the player, but I still maintain that he's not. I think we should have. We could have surely given some of that money to Callum O'Hare.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
who's a year older.
Yeah.
That's.
Agree.
I mean, who knows? He might have just said from the start, I ain't staying. I want to go somewhere else. He might have done that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But ultimately, we could have done something like that, and we would have had a bit of money, a fair bit of money left over on top. We seem to have, we spent what? How much was it on Redoni? 5 million. We spent
5, yeah.
But a brand just pushing that, including maybe a little bit. It's a little bit less on Mason Clark, including that loan fee effectively, and then we've also Asante was about 3. Bassett, how much was he? Was he 2, 2.5? There's a lot of money spent on players.
Yeah. And then you got Binks. We don't know what Binks signed for. So
yeah, but, I mean, in that area of the pitch, though, it's a lot. You're talking a lot of money there, and you just can't help thinking, surely there could have been a deal to be done. And at the end of the day, if it broke the wage structure, it broke the wage structure a bit, because we probably have anyway, to an extent.
Yeah. Sure, there is a wage structure.
If it meant we had to pay Sheaf a bit more or Wright a bit more, so what? We do it. It's still we still probably would have been within that few million that we shelled out on either Redoni or Mason Clark. I think I'm leaning towards. To be honest with you, I'm leaning towards having Redoni here rather than Mason Clark, and with that situation.
Yeah.
But,
right, let's get some comments in then. Let's see some comments. What's the saying tonight?
Right. Mark Patman says, Bassett to start on Saturday. I agree. Come on, Cov. We can beat the curse with determination and grit. On the tops says, on the up, who gives a flying F? Who manages England? As long as they win, he's not on the pitch. He still sleeps in his own bed. And he's not on the pitch, he still sleeps in his own bed. Right. I wouldn't have a foreign manager for England, but the FA don't give an FA what the fans think. Mark Hughes says, we have a German royal family, so why not a German football manager? Wayne Litwood, I've already put an offer in for the Birmingham under-23s keeper.
Brilliant.
Christine Taylor, Super Bassett, he needs to start on Saturday. Nation Radio thinks he needs to start as well. Wayne Littlewood, Bassett has been a breath of fresh air when he's on the pitch compared to the other strikers who've been lazy and lethargic. Him and Asante run and run and run.
Him and Asante and Redoni. Redoni does the high press a bit, doesn't he? Yeah. He presses quite a bit. So, yeah.
Madman 007. Storming Norman needs to play for me. I agree with Claudia. Nothing to lose, and we need a spark to get us going. BTA will feel hard done by if dropped, but really think we need Norman's energy at 2 up top, ? Wayne Littlewood says, Haji Wright is a big no-no for Cobb. Selfish, lazy, and I generally don't think he's that good. I'd happily sell if we get the chance. As an evening from Anne Joyner. Evening, Anne.
Who's Anne? I've never heard of Anne.
Good opportunity for EMC out on the left this weekend. This is from Dave Sports Photos. Wright has a reputation of being lazy. I think that's letting him off lightly. He's scared of the physical side of the game, won't tackle, and goes down at the first hint of contact. Peter Doolan. Good evening, all. The Preston curse hopefully will stop this weekend. I got a comment from Glenn Watkin. I don't get the right height. Don't get the right hate. He's a large reason we made the FA Cup semi-final and finished in the top half. I don't hate him. I just don't think he's
not. It's not hate. It's not hate. Yeah. It's not hate, is it?
Dave Sports Photos. Fabio is a strange one. At 23, should be playing first team football, whatever level that might be. On the up, drop Sims and Wright, put Bassett up front with Asante. Glenn says he's got 11-11s on the fan hub so far this season. We might as well put you on the bench and the dugout, I reckon, Glenn, then. Wayne Littlewood, no, for Tavares is not championship quality. Why we hold on to him is unbelievable. Maybe nobody wants him. Madman 007, Hadji, as much as he don't trap back, we signed him as a striker, so it's never going to be natural for him. About time we gave him a chance up top at some point. Maybe that may get him firing on the pitch. I still believe he should be.
Which is what we've said on the show week in, week out. He plays down the middle. We shouldn't be playing him on the left. We shouldn't be. Shouldn't we?
It felt like we've been collecting players and not actually collecting what we need. The up, Brian Thomas is doing Father Christmas this year. We've got a real Santa. Thomas the son. Oh dear. That's terrible. That's even worse than my jokes. Madman 007, if Fabio played like he did against Man United in the FA Cup semi, he would be a good player.
It can't be any worse than your jokes.
And form in and out, needs a loan or move, deserves to play first team elsewhere. James Hollyoake says he's out of contract in the summer anyway. Mad Frankie, EMC has been disappointing, let's be honest. Yeah, there's another one. Well, he's not shown yet, has he? That's for sure. On the up, be great if Norman Bissett plays up top. We would bring some wisdom.
Another one.
Bring some wisdom. Oh dear. Yes.
Another one trying to compete with you, Claudio.
I've got a whole list of dad jokes here I could use. Michael Riley, give Tavares a chance. We need to try something different or something different. It's not working as it is. And we've got Dave McGee. Evening, Dave. Each time I've seen Norman Bissett play, he was not recognised by forward playing players. He needs to be recognised forward within the manager's match plan. Be a recognised forward within the manager's match plan. Ian Small, he agrees. Right is top Sims bench.
Yeah. Now we're talking about age, right? And we're talking about Bissett thinking he's too young. People saying he's too young. Everything like this. But when you look at Barcelona and Spain, and they've got Yamin Yamal, right? Not being funny, he was born in 2007, and he's a European champion with Spain, and he's playing for Barcelona. So you cannot be too young to play first team football unless you're like 11 or 12 or 13 or whatever. You don't know. You might be good enough when you're 11, 12 or 13. But you know what I mean? So if Robbins comes out and says, well, Bissett's too young, he's not ready yet, well, it's crap, because you've got players like him playing for Barcelona who was born in 2007 and he's younger than my lad. So, you know, you can't be turning around to fans and press conferences and saying these players are too young. They're not too young. They're good enough, and he's showing with his energy on the pitch that he is good enough to be in that team. I think he should be ahead of Sims. He should be ahead of Wright this weekend, definitely. And he has to start Bissett. He really does. And I know you two are going to disagree with me, but I think Tavares should start this weekend.
I just think with young players, and Mark's been with us 7 years as manager now, and his only time he's played young players when he had to. That was in League Two. We had no choice. We had no squad, and a lot of the academy players were playing, weren't they?
Yeah.
He doesn't really put in young players. He seems reluctant to play the young players. Always has done. Although our squad seems young, I think on CGR they're saying it was the average age is whatever it was, but those players have played a lot of games. I don't regard them as young, the ones who are starting, like Ben Sheaf and Josh Eccles. He's played over 100 games now. But
yeah,
our academy isn't producing enough for a start. And when they do come along, they don't get put in. And when they do give them a chance, they seem to be doing all right. They get loaned out straight away. So I don't know.
They must be doing all right, Claudio. Claudio, they must be doing all right because two of them have been on national duty this week.
Well, exactly. I mean, Aidan came in.
They must be doing something right, mustn't they?
Well, he came in the last couple of games last season. We've not seen him since, have we? I think he sat on the bench once, I think. Yeah, Yeah. It's just weird. It's just we've got a strange approach towards the club.
Well, what we're going to do, right, we're going to have a break just for a second. We've got a 2-minute clip to play to have just a breather. And then we're going to come back and we're going to get you starting 11 for Saturday. And then we're going to talk about Deepdale curse. Are we going to break that curse? So just sit back, enjoy this. This is Coventry City versus Preston. Thank you very much to Mr. View Sky once again for get my teeth in, for supplying us with this clip. And sit back, enjoy while we have a quick breather.
Eddie Lewis in possession. Switches sides. Graham Alexander now. Plays the ball upfield. Back on the left-hand side. Eddie Lewis is chasing. Should collect. Waiting for Preston Sheriff to arrive in the penalty area. Holding up the ball very well. It's a lovely bit of skill. Terrorising the Coventry defenders. Puts in a nice looking ball. And Cresswell's latched onto it. And Richard Cresswell has given Preston the lead. Gordon picks it up. Bothroyd puts in a nice looking ball. Preston needs to get it away. There's confusion in the penalty area and it's fallen to Pede. He's equalised for Coventry just a few minutes after the restart. Bothroyd sends in a nice looking ball. Pipe now, it's fallen to him and it's got a deflection and beaten Lucas. The goal scorer's down injured. Played inside. Eto'o now. Turn, he has a shot, it's got a deflection and it's there. Abbott scored. The substitute has got Preston back into this game. And they're on level terms.
There you go. Courtesy of Mr. View Sky there, Coventry City drawing it again at Preston. And Paul Hughes is probably watching and he'll say, you know that stand on the other side, you know why there wasn't any fans in it? Because he was building it. So if he's watching, that's what he's going to tell us. Wait for the story. He couldn't shut up about it last week the other week when I seen him, bless him. But so thank you very much, Mr. View Sky. Check out his YouTube channel. And while you're on YouTube, why not give us a like and subscribe, please? If you would very kindly give us a like and subscribe, that'd be great. Now, if you haven't got any buses or coaches sorted out for Saturday, you still need travel, head over to ccfctravel.co.uk UK. You can book your travel there, not just for this weekend, but for the rest of the season as well. Get your coach tickets over there. And if you want parking as well around the country, you can head over to coventryparking.co.uk for away parking. Nice and secure as well. They've got stewards on the gates and everything, so they look after the car park while you're at the game, so you know your car's safe. Also, there's a load of car parking around Coventry for you as well near the ground. So if you can't get right into the ground car park, but you want to get close, then head over to coventryparking.co.uk. Claudio, you got before we go on to our starting 11, a couple of history podcasts out at the moment.
Yes, we've got episode 17, which is the one about our award-winning program from 1970-71, and on that we've got the designer's son and two guys who wrote a book called One Shilling, and one of them's a BBC4 broadcaster, so it was really good. You can tell he's a broadcaster as well. That was really
and that got picked up by an American broadcaster that was talking about it the other day.
I know, that was weird. That was somebody sent me the link. I thought that's just ridiculous. Yeah,
it's unbelievable. They were talking about our show on their podcast.
I know, just ridiculous.
in America, unbelievable. And then you got your other episode out.
Yeah, this is about Billy Thrift's career. He was a player and manager at Coventry way back before I was born, obviously. And we're talking about goalkeepers and clean sheets. And we're having a break for a couple of weeks because of holidays. I'm on holiday next week, and Jim's been on holiday this week. And then we've got some good episodes coming up. Hopefully one with Dave Boddy talking about League Two, and hopefully some guest players on that from League 2 days. So that'd be interesting.
Brilliant. And you can catch all those on our YouTube channel, Sky Blue Fans TV. Check out the videos. Or if you're at work and you want to listen to something during the day, head over to the Sky Blue History Podcast with Jim Brown and Claudio on Spotify. You can get it on there and you can listen to it while you're at work as well. And please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It'd be much appreciated. We appreciate all your support. We really, really do. Right then, here we go then. 23 attempts. Okay. As Claudio will give us some more stats in a bit, but he told me today, 23 attempts, 72 years, no league wins, one in the cup in 1910 and 2000, but the first league meeting was in 1949. Claudio, why was the first league meeting in 1949? Yet we had a win in the cup in 1910.
Wow, this is interesting because in 1910 we played them as a non-league team, and Preston, if you got to think, in 1888, wasn't many years before 1910, were the Invincibles. They were double winners, and Preston North End were huge in terms of league football. And to put it in perspective, the week before they'd beaten Sunderland in the league, and the week after us they beat Chelsea. But we're a little non-league Coventry, went there and won in the cup, which is incredible. So, and then the first league meeting was 1949 because we didn't enter the league till 1920 season, and of course we never got to play them, so they dropped out the top flight basically. So Preston were in the top flight for years, absolutely years basically, and they've not been promoted. They went up again, and then they got relegated in 1961, and they've not played in the top flight since the 1961-62 season, I think.
Wow!
So if we think we're having it rough, imagine being a Preston fan.
Well, yeah, I know they've been in the Championship for years, haven't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Right then. So, because we're talking about the Preston game, how are we going to break this curse? Let's get your starting 11 for Saturday. Claudio first.
Ooh. Right. I'm gonna go with Wilson in goal.
Yeah.
The problem we've got is we're conceding goals, so I'm doing the 3/5 at the back. So Binks, Kitchen, and Thomas, stick them all in there. De Silva out wide on the left, Milan on the right. The idea is to use them as wing backs, but then also to be a 5. Eccles, Sheaf, and Radoni in the middle, 3, playing as your. A bit like Iniesta, Xavi, and Messi in the Barcelona days.
Yeah, it's not in the Cod City days, that's for sure.
And then I would like to see Asante and Bassett up front. I really would. To be basically the front guys to harass their defenders, to push the team up, which means if the team gets pushed up the pitch, the wing backs get high up as well. The only risk with this formation is that we do tend to just go to a flat back five, but if we did that, we're in trouble. But they've been poor, Preston. They've been worse than us at the start of the season, really. So
well, they haven't in the last 5 games. They haven't.
Oh,
so they've drawn 3, won 1, and 1 defeat. We've drawn 1, won 1, and lost 3.
Right.
That's your last 5.
That's what I'd go for.
Okie dokie. Right. Okay.
Kind of 3-5-2.
Okay. So that's yours. Okie doke. Right. CJ.
I heard that Wilson was injured, wasn't he?
Oh, well.
I thought he was injured for a few weeks.
Is he? I haven't heard that. Where did you hear that?
I heard he was. I don't know, but I mean, if he isn't, I guess he'd play. He would be playing. If he is, well, yeah, if he is, then I would guess it would be Dovin because Collins has fallen off the face of the planet, which I think is a bit unfair on him, really. But either way, I don't know. I'm sure I read that somewhere that he was injured for a few weeks. But yeah. So either way, I'd be going with a 4. I'd be going with Binks and Thomas.
Yeah.
I'd be going. You've got to play De Silva. You have to play Van Eerwyk because I've said for a long time, but all throughout last season, if Van Eerwyk gets injured, we're in trouble. And at the moment, for the last few games, Van Eerwyk has been playing like a guy that looks like he has no competition whatsoever. He's for his spot. And I don't know whether that's me being harsh on him. I don't know whether he's playing with a bit of an injury. Don't know, but he just hasn't looked himself compared to what he was for a large part of last season. But there's no alternative. Lattabody has played there a bit, but I don't think he's anywhere near standards play as a right back there. And
but Eccles can play there, though, can he?
Eccles can, but Eccles is probably, I would say, he's come in to the position of probably being one of a few undroppable players that we've got. I think he is. Last season, I think he got to the point where he was pushing towards that, and I don't see how you could drop him. So he always plays. So why would you move one of your most effective players out of his most effective position? It just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me to do that. But anyway, so that would be the back 4. As I said, I think Wilson will play if he's fit. I'm not 100% sure on that, but either way, then you've got Sheaf and Radoni in front, and I think that front 3. I'd like to see Bassett start. To be honest with you, just give him a go and have an angry Sims come on with half an hour to go, and then out wide. I mean, like I said, I'm probably going to have to be Mason Clark and Asante, I would say.
Okay.
That's that. It might be a little bit makeshift. There's no guarantee. Well, I don't think Sakamoto is going to be ready, is he?
I don't know. He said it wouldn't be long. It wasn't going to be a real long time. He did say it wouldn't be too long. So you never know. It might. He's been on the grass. He's been on the grass.
Yeah.
And you might see Rodriguez. Might see Rodriguez this weekend on the bench because he's been on the grass as well with the team training.
Well, that'd be nice. It'd be a welcome addition.
You know, and,
yeah, that's probably what I would do. I would play that, but like I say, I wouldn't be starting Wright because I don't think Robbins will start him anyway. He just, like Claudio says, he didn't last time from an international break. And
when you mentioned Rodriguez, I was thinking when he finally comes on, we all should shout "who" really loudly.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre, isn't it? Situation with that poor lad. It's like, who is he?
No one in a press conference has ever asked where he is.
I know what's going on. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Unless they're told not to ask that question before the manager comes in. You never know, do you?
Maybe they were just told, look, you're going to get the same answer every week. So
so there's no point in saying it.
You said about why would you put somebody not in their best position, move somebody out? Mark Robbins does that. He has done that.
He has done that. Yeah.
Don't be surprised
but when you've got a player as effective as Eccles, this is the thing. I don't know. It's just I don't know. And like I said, I think Asante generally has played number 10 and is he on the left? I think he's played mainly on the right, hasn't he? I think, or on the in the centre
mainly
for West
on the
Brom.
right. Yeah, no, when he played, but when he played against Spurs, he played up through the middle, didn't he?
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, but I mean, in the past, I mean, he was only kind of playing up front because he had to, didn't he? Because there was kind of nobody else.
When he scored that goal against us that season for West Brom, he was on the left, weren't he?
Yeah. So possibly.
Okay. Here's my team then. Here's my team. You're going to laugh at me probably. So Ben Wilson in goal. If he's fit, I didn't know he was injured. If anyone knows anything,
that could be. Yeah.
I haven't heard anything all week. Then at the back, I'm going Bobby Thomas and Louis Binks. I think Binks deserves a run out. I don't know what he's done wrong.
100%.
I love Louis Binks. I think he's an absolute beast, and he's better than Kitchen as far as I'm concerned. Even though Kitchen is a good player, I just think Louis is a little bit far forward, more ahead of him in the rankings for me. Then, unfortunately,
Mark, he is injured.
Is he? Where you found that?
I've got my sources.
He's injured.
The same person who's waiting for him in a certain establishment on Saturday who said to me, I'm waiting for Ben if you hang around, but I was going elsewhere. So
okay.
So Wilson is.
Yeah.
Wilson's injured. Well, I better change my goalkeeper then. I better put Dovin in goal then. There you go. Dovin's in goal. Right, so I've changed my team already. Dovin's in goal. Bobby Thomas, Louis Binks. Then I think Milan, like you said, CJ, you brought it up about, is it because he isn't fighting for a place or is he carrying a knock? I've said it for a couple of weeks. I think he's carrying a knock. And we're having to play him because we haven't got anyone to fill that gap. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So I think he's carrying a slight... Because he went straight down the tunnel, didn't he, the other week against Blackburn? And when we played Leeds, he was hardly tracking back at all, wasn't he? He was hardly ever tracking back. So I'd play Milan. Then De Silva, obviously, because the old Terminator's out, unfortunately, which should have been a red card. Don't care what anyone says. It was a red card over the top, into his leg, red card all day long. Then I'm playing Ben Sheaf, Mr. Eccles, Rodoni, and you're going to hate me for this, Tavares, because I think he's been training all week. I think he will slot in. Something about it. Bobby, and he played for the under-23s, which means he was getting a few minutes in his legs. Thomas Asante, and then Bassett. That's my 11. Probably got it wrong, and I don't care because if I was a manager, that's my team I'd pick to break this bloody curse at Preston. So Wilson's injured. Claudio, can you get any more detail on that at all, please?
No, that's it. That's all I've got. That's all I've got. I'm working on it.
So are we then? This is it then. So we got our starting 11s. Who would you put in goal now then, Claudio? Because if Wilson is out,
Well, it's the lad who's supposed to be our goalkeeper for the next 4 years. Then
Dovin,
that's only choice.
yeah, CJ.
I liked Collins last season. I think he. Yeah, do you know what? I think he was carrying something towards the end of the season, and we were playing a lot of games, and I think but he did make some ridiculously stupid decisions. Like, I can't remember where we were, but that one where he basically just kind of just flapped at it and tried to almost push it in. I can't remember where that was, but it was an away game somewhere. I can't remember. I think it was an away game. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, it's Dovin. We spent money on him. I know we spent money on Collins, but we spent about twice the amount on Dovin, and
Yeah.
he's what, 22, 23, isn't he? Something like that. And I think he's somebody that I think we need to be really kind of like pushing to be our number one for a good period coming forward. For the next few years.
Yeah.
And he, at that age, his voice will come, and he'll get there. And I mean, he will make mistakes there. We've seen it with the 21s this week that with Sweden, it's not ideal. And he did that last season, I think, for Hammarby as well. So pretty much a carbon copy of it. So it will happen. But at the end of the day, I'd like to see. He's the one really I want to see playing for us week in, week out going forward. So yeah, and I similar to Binks, I don't think he did a massive amount wrong in the first place. I think I was being mad. I'm. Some people say I'm like the head of the goalkeepers union. I'll give him so much. I'll give him so much slack. But when it comes to this season, I was overly harsh, I think, maybe, but the only goal really I would say that Dovin would kind of want back is that Stoke goal on the first day of the season. I thought maybe he should have done a bit better. I thought maybe both Collins and Wilson would have stopped that. But you're never going to know, are you? Some said I was being massively harsh on him, which it's fair enough, I suppose. But aside from that, he hasn't really done a lot wrong. I just don't understand why he was dropped. It's just, and like I said, similar sort of situation with Binks. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all why that's the case.
No, definitely don't make any sense.
One last thing on Binks, like I said, like you were saying about Tavares earlier, you look at Binks, that is the level of 23-year-old that should be playing for us. And last season when Sims was on his run, that was the level of 23-year-old we want playing for us.
Yeah.
So, Tavares is nowhere near that level, really, is he? With all due respect to him, he's like I said, that there's nothing wrong with that. I just think he's probably a bit beyond where he could be at the moment.
Do you think that is because of game time? Because you remember when we signed Johnson Clark Harris. You know when we signed Johnson Clark Harris, and he came, we signed him, and he was like a year behind everyone in his age group because he didn't get much game time because he was always injured. And then when he started playing and he started getting regular game time with us, he was getting better and better and better. Do you think that's the thing with Tavares? He hasn't had enough game time.
Possibly, but
I think he struggled with his injury when he came back,
doesn't he?
Because that ankle injury is a tough one to get over, and I think he struggled really. I mean, the Achilles, it's not terrible at all, but obviously Mark Robins had plenty of opportunities in the past to play him, put him on even when he's been on the bench, and he does it reluctantly. And it's a shame because he came on with the blazer. It was against Preston, wasn't it? That equaliser. At
2 seasons ago, wasn't it?
yeah,
2 seasons.
I was in a hotel room in London at the time watching that. I wasn't at the game. And in a rather posh hotel, in which me and Lucas screamed so loud that Caroline came running down the hall saying, "What are you pair doing?" I went, "Oh, sorry, we just scored in like the 96th minute."
The thing is, though, when he played against Man United in that semi-final, we looked like the team on top until he got injured in that game. And, because he got an injury, didn't he? Was it Wan-Bissaka took him out, didn't he? And we looked like we were going to go on and win it because he brought something to the game, didn't he? He can bring that magic on.
Well, I just think if he's going to be around the club, he needs to play him. You might as well just loan him out. You might as well get somebody else back in instead of him. Because it seems a waste to just have somebody sat on the bench week in, week out and just never really get to go. What's the point? There's no point. It's just like him making numbers on the bench. You could almost... I mean, Luca does this thing where we try and guess the subs, and most weeks he's bang on. He says nothing really changes with our subs. We don't do a formation change, do we? It's like for like. So if he's already brought somebody on where Tavares could play, he ain't coming on. It's as simple as that. So just maybe he's not given enough of a chance.
So to break this curse, and please don't say win, right? We know we got to win. Right, because I know what's going to happen. What have we got to do to break this curse? Well, win, obviously. Yes, well, we know that. Claudio, how are Coventry City going to break this blooming curse at Deepdale?
Right. This is the best chance we've had in years. They've got the guy who thinks he can bite people. He's out. Osmagic, whatever his name is. They've lost the other striker. He's injured, and there's somebody else suspended. One of the better, I can't remember his name now. One of the better players. We've got a really good opportunity. They've lost the strike force pretty much. So on the basis that we won't concede a goal, which is something we like to do because we've let in 45 in the last 30 matches, which is 1.5 a game, which means you've got to score 2 goals to win a flipping game. If we keep the clean sheet, we've got a chance of nicking this one on Saturday. Because although they've had some all right results recently, man for man, we've got a better squad than Preston North End. And they've only just lost their manager recently, haven't they? A couple of games ago, you just sacked him, didn't they? So they just got to believe, haven't they? They really, last season we got results where we didn't expect it. Why not Saturday? A bit of belief. We've got 3,000 City lads and girls and boys that are going to be there, which is yet again incredible. I think support. The support is ridiculous how good it is nowadays. And especially with the run we've had, Miles and CJ, obviously a bit younger, but we know from the old days that if we'd have been on this run, 6th bottom start of the season, you'd get 300 turning up if that for an away game. It's improved so much, the support. And the people who go deserve a performance on Saturday. And hopefully they can lift themselves up, the crowd behind them, away from home, happy days, great away day, 2-0 win.
Yeah. I love it. I absolutely love it. But the thing is,
water. I'm drinking water.
We say that the fans. We say that the fans have been doing. It keeps cutting out my end. We say that the fans have done their part and they're doing their part. And like you say, years and years ago, you go on a run like this and there'd be like a few hundred turning up at Preston for 12:30 on a Saturday in October, towards the end of October. Mark Harrington's off to sunny Blackpool for 2 days. Good luck with that one. I don't know what you're going to come back with from there. The fans are doing their bit, CJ. Surely, with what they've been doing this week with some of the players away, and he hasn't given them any time off. They've been in training for the international break, which is right. They should be. They shouldn't be letting them go off. What have we got to do? Because the fans are doing their bit to help us break this curse. What have the team got to do? And please don't say win. We know we got to win. But what can they do? What is it? What is it? There's got to be something. There's a curse. There's got to be something.
You're saying the fans are doing their bit, but I'm not actually going this week. It's the second game I missed this season. I think Watford's the only other game I've missed. But I'm at a friend's son's christening. But yeah, I'm sick and tired of seeing it pop up on Footballology, but telling me that we lost today at Deepdale on this day, and so many years ago. I've been there 17 times. It's the place I've seen the city playing the most outside of the
Unbelievable.
city, outside of Coventry.
17 times.
Yeah, a lot of them in the early days was with my granddad, and I mean he remembers them Preston being a really good team back in the day. But when my granddad was still around, he used to talk about it from time to time. But yeah, 17 times. I've been there, and I've seen us win once, and yeah. And it's not great, but it's not a great record, is it? I think the only other ground that comes close is probably Bramall Lane, which we've almost bad. It's not quite as bad, but it seems to have quite a bad record there as well. But either way, it would just be my luck when the one time we get that win, is this Saturday. So, but what have we got to do to win? I genuinely don't know. I'm at a lot. What have we got to do to get a win at all at the moment anywhere? But with our lineups, we're shaking it up a little bit, aren't we? So hopefully that's what it will be, and the players that have been. Maybe I don't necessarily say getting a free ride, so to speak, but maybe some of these players that could be doing a bit better, come off the bench with 20 minutes, half an hour to go when they're they're going to be champing at the bit to try and get on and get themselves back at the starting lineup. Maybe that's what we need.
Yeah, look, as far as I'm
hold
concerned,
out until that point, like Claudio says, and then get a goal or two towards the end. Maybe, I don't know.
I just think we've got to go there, and the players that have been given the chance this weekend, they already know if they're in the team. The players that have been given the chance have just got to go there this weekend and run their bloody socks off. And I'll tell you, if they all work as a team, which I'll come on to the team thing in a minute, you'll see what I'm doing here, right? But if they all work as a team, I think we can do it this weekend. And like you say, CJ, because you ain't there and I ain't there, you watch them. They're going to win this bugger. And
I think what sums up Preston for me is, I'm sure that like Kevin Davis went about 500 days without scoring a goal in one period of his career, and I'm sure the two goals bookended in that run were both at Deepdale against us.
Well, Claudio, do you know anything about that?
I'm sure they were both at Deepdale, those goals, and they were both must have been 500 days apart, something like that.
He's on it. What you on, Claudio? What you found?
What you found?
It was probably about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe
4 or 5. It's not longer than that.
No, I'm sure he finished up. He finished up there, didn't he? In the end, he went back there.
Do you know what they put? You know who probably score if they do beat? Oh, Ched Evans will probably score for them.
Oh, of course,
he's still in their squad, isn't he? So, and so we just got to be careful. And that result last season, to be honest with you, right? That result last season, that was not a penalty. Don't care what anyone says. I nearly killed myself climbing up them steps to the nearly the back row, right? Vicky was up there, and there was Ken and everyone up there. Well, and Neil and Jack. I was climbing up them steps. I was out of breath like anything. It was unbelievable, and that was never a penalty in a million years. He hit that ball. It went over the bar and bloody turned. And Anthony Taylor, he goes, "Oh, well, you missed it. We'll give you a penalty because you fell over." Unbelievable. Never a penalty in a million years. So we could have come away with something last season and we didn't. By the way, just an update on Ben Wilson. It's a ligament strain. So he's probably been walking around Stratford too much, drinking lots of coffee in different coffee shops. Don't know, but that's what he's done. Ligament strains. Hope you get well soon, Ben, because we miss you and you're great. We love you. We think you're amazing.
I think. Sorry to stomp on your parade, Claudia. I think it was these two here that where it was January. So it's not quite. It's almost 400 days. So I think it was 18th of January 2014, 7th of February 2015.
Yeah, I've just got it up. A 1-1 draw and a 1-0 defeat. The Frank Musa equaliser.
Yeah.
The wonder goal, the wonder shot, wasn't it?
Now, the reason why I talk about teamwork is because some of the team have been doing this week. This has got to help them. They've been at Haas F1. Haas are heading over to, they're already in Austin in the USA, ready for this weekend's Grand Prix. Come on, Lando Norris. Let's hope you can keep your winning streak going and beat old Max Verstappen. Can't have him winning another title. But yes, the team were at Haas. They were changing wheels and everything on the car, doing it timed and everything else, which is good teamwork, very good teamwork. And I'm loving Sakamoto's face. Look at his face. He is so happy. He is really, really happy. He's absolutely just over the moon, bless him, because he's there. And who knows, is there going to be an investment coming from Haas F1? Who knows?
No.
But also, no. But also, Neil Thomas messaged me. He says, "Have you seen Ben Sheaf's shirt? Highfield Road," and I think that's the coordinates on the shirt. That's wicked, that T-shirt. If that ain't in the club shop before I go to Jamaica in a couple of weeks, I'll eat my hat because I need that to wear in Jamaica. And that hoodie Sakamoto's wearing is just superb. Love it.
You won't be wearing that there, no?
No, I won't be wearing that there. No, don't be daft. No. I won't be wearing hardly anything there. And here's the team here. So there's the team at Haas in front of the car, one of the cars. And Milan, I haven't got the picture, but Milan had his picture took next to the 27 car, which I think is Hulkenberg's car. And he was pointing at it saying he's the fastest player. Well, you haven't been the fastest player last few weeks, Milan, so sort it out for Saturday, please. But you never know. I'll tell you what I've always dreamt of, and this is no lie because I'm a big F1 fan. I've been to 9 races around the globe, and I've always dreamt of seeing a Cov City badge on an F1 car. All right, when I've played Gran Turismo and that, I've put Cov badges on some of the cars, and I'm like, I've always dreamt one day we'll have a Cov City badge on an F1 car. So let's hope, Haas, if you're watching tonight, please put a Cov City badge on your car so that I can buy the model to go in my cabinet with all my other models. That'd be great. 2 sets, I need to turn my heating down. It's got a bit hot in here. Whew, it's got like a sauna. So that's what I was on about, teamwork. And that's what they've got to do. That's how we're going to win this Saturday, teamwork. Right, let's get a few more comments in before we go then. And we'll get some score predictions. We've already got Claudio's anyway, but we'll get CJ's very soon. Let's get some more comments in before we head off.
Dave McGee says, I agree with Miles, get Bassett stuck in their faces. I think that's meant to be. Wayne Wood, I'd love to, if our CWR team actually asked Mark Robbins why he isn't playing right as a striker, baffling being out on the left. Madman said, any news in the room with assistant manager coming in? Heard it's in motion, also heard not happening. Yeah, I think there's some real rumour mongers who they start a rumour then walk away, don't they? Mark Cunningham, Binks has to start Saturday along with Bertie Bassett and Asante.
Bertie Bassett.
Mark Patman, I think come the January window, Doug King needs to get his big wallet out and buy 2 decent creative midfielders. You haven't got a hope. Michael Owen, Jay Leach. Michael Owen was best striker in the Prem at 18. I'd give Tavares and Bassett a go on Saturday. Sheaf will spot Bassett's runs. Jay Leach, Wilson, Van Ewick, Thomas Binks, De Silva, Sheaf, Eccles, Radoni, Bassett, Tavares.
Oh, that's the same team as mine.
Paul Hughes, by Mars, it was a stand on the left of that behind the goal.
Oh, stand on the left, not that one where the dugout is. Sorry, Paul.
Is it still standing?
I don't know. Did you hear the trumpet in that clip as well? There was a trumpet in that clip as well. Did you hear it?
Yeah. Wayne Littlewood, chaps, don't be surprised by this programme being international. Soon it will take over the world. I don't know about that.
Hold on a minute. We are international. People watch us in Thailand, America, Australia, New Zealand, Germany.
Bedworth.
Bedworth.
Mad Frankie, play 2 at top, Bassett and Sims. Aaron Samuels put waffle. I like mine with what do you like your waffles with? I like a bit of maple syrup, ice cream. What do you reckon?
Just like a bit of sugar on top.
Oh. So I think 2 to 3 weeks is what I've been told. Mad Frankie, Doven is too small, never comes for crosses. Ralph Wiggins, I would put a Belling goal and a Kitchen at left back instead of De Silva. Put Belling. Oh, Bell, yeah, of course.
Bell. The worrying thing about De Silva for me is these teams will know that we've got to play De Silva.
Yeah.
And Preston, when they played us last season, played the long ball over to De Silva, knowing he couldn't get up for it, went over his head, they attacked, went down the end, and they went and put it in the back of the net. That's the worrying part about not having more cover that side, because teams will know now we have to play De Silva, and now we know what game plan we're going to do.
Yeah. One on the up, who's going to Bogey Day on Saturday then? Mark Harrington, me, 2 nights in sunny Blackpool. We will win this season, first time in my lifetime. Mark, high press going, attack, attack, attack.
Yeah.
Paul Critchfield, we need a witch to do a pee on the centre spot. Wayne Littlewood says maybe it's the CJ curse. 17 years of no result. He doesn't go, boom, 3 points incoming.
Yeah, CJ's fault.
I think we should have a statistic off between CJ Acastata and Claudio Acastata the elder.
I think I'd definitely lose.
Matt B reckons we should have 6-5-4, 6 in defence, 5 in midfield, 4 up front. We'll still give the ball away.
0-0.
Yeah. 0-0, yeah.
You mentioned, tell you what, you mentioned assistant managers. Somebody mentioned assistant managers there. Have you seen who Tuchel's is?
He used to play for us, didn't he? Was
Academy.
Yeah.
Loosely. We signed him, and then he ended up. He was at Forest Green about 3-4 years ago. As their like number 2.
So what do we know about him then, CJ? What do we know
Not
about
much.
him?
He's come highly. I mean, he comes highly recommended. He's firmly a number 2. So, similar sort of mould to Carsley, to be honest with you. Maybe not as highly rated as him when it comes to coaching.
You surprised?
I'm surprised he's the one.
Are you surprised you didn't keep
Cole. Yeah, I would have.
It was Ashley Cole, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I would have. I don't know. I don't think he was really a. He wasn't a Cars. He wasn't Carsdy's man, so to speak. He's like an FA man. So I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe the FA might
Mm.
keep him around. I'm not sure. But the one
Yeah.
the one I'd be bringing in the one I'd be bringing into the fold right now would be if he'd be willing to do it, because obviously he is managing in the Championship. Would be Carrick. I'd be bringing him into the fold and getting seeing
Have
what
to
we
be a
can
lot
do
of
there.
money.
Yeah,
Be a lot
well,
of money, wouldn't
potentially.
it, to prize him?
Well, no,
Yeah.
he'd still stay. He'd still stay with Hillsborough. If somebody, the other one maybe, depending on what happens, in a few weeks, maybe Edwards as well, Rob Edwards possibly. But
Yeah.
yeah,
You never know. Ralph Wiggins says exactly, Miles. I don't know what he meant by that, but good evening, Ralph. He hasn't been on for a while.
he
I don't
agrees
think he's
with you.
been.
No, that's the
Yeah,
most
he agrees
important
with
thing.
me. It is the most important thing. So let's get some scores then. Claudio, we've already had yours. You've said 2-0.
Yeah, considering we've only beaten them twice in the last 33 league games or something ridiculous. Something like that.
You never beat them in the league.
No, they're both at home.
Oh, right, yeah.
So we
Sorry.
truly are our nemesis, aren't they? It's ridiculous. Yeah, but anyway, I think we'll turn it around. Come on, it's got to start someplace. Let's start it Saturday. Start my weekend off well, and I've got the rest of the week because I'm on holiday. So, of course, QPR on Tuesday.
You on holiday, are you, Claudio, by any chance?
Yes, I am, actually, yes.
Oh, you're going somewhere nice, Claudio?
No, I'm not. Well, I shouldn't say that.
What's the point in having a holiday if you're not going to go anywhere? I think that's 3 holidays you've had this year and you haven't gone away.
Well, we're going to Italy next year, so hopefully. So we're going to go to Rome next year with the family.
When in Rome.
Yeah, exactly. But spend some time with my mother-in-law. So when I said, I'm going somewhere nice, I should have said yes.
Yeah, you should have. She might be watching. Good luck with that one. I don't get on with mine, that's for sure. Whatever. That's a long story for another day. CJ, CJ. Well, come on. I mean, look, me and you ain't
you need a JCB.
No, but she ain't going to watch this. Christ Almighty. Got no chance. So I can say what I like. CJ, so what are you going for then? Because me and you ain't going. So this is unbelievable. It's too early for me to go. If I went that early in the morning, I don't think I'd be able to get out of bed for a week. So what do you reckon? What do you reckon is going to happen this weekend?
Me and my mates do like this prediction league thing, and I actually went for a loss in that. But do you know what? I'm feeling upbeat. I think that now, I think we might get a draw, 0-0.
I'm feeling upbeat. I'll go for a 0-0. And by the way, happy anniversary for 3 years, isn't it?
It was, yeah. It was.
Yeah,
3 years ago yesterday.
To you and Hannah. Happy anniversary,
Very
mate.
cough-themed wedding.
Don't blame you either. 0-0 then. Do you know what? Look, I'm going all out here. I'm going 3-0 to Cov. Sod it. I don't care. I'm going 3-0 because because I ain't there. It's going to be the floodlights ain't going to be on. Right, now this is what. Now, Claudia, how many night games have we played Preston at Preston?
Oh,
He's going to have a look.
Question.
Every time we play them at night, their floodlights have to be the worst floodlights in the world. They have to be. They're even worse, right? Leamington have got better floodlights than Preston. Every time I've been there at night, you can't see down the far end of the field. So I ain't being funny. I reckon that's part of the curse as well. We haven't won at night because the floodlights are crap. So I'm going 3-0 because the floodlights won't be on and the blue skies are going to be out and it's going to be sunny. Mark Harrington's going to take loads of sticker rocks. He's going to take 3,000 sticks of rock for all the fans. He's going to give them out while he's there from Blackpool. So everyone look out for Mark Hamilton. You can't miss him. He'll be there in his bright blue Cov City coat. So ask him for your sticker rock. He's already told me he's buying everyone one. So I reckon we're going to beat them 3-0. There you go. CJ's got no chance.
Just trying to find yeah.
Oh, mate. Look, you got.
I don't know if you can read that, but there you go.
Yeah, I can read it.
There you go, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for that. That's really kind of you.
I mean,
look,
yeah.
you imagine if we do win 3-0. I'll be on here Sunday night going, told you so. No, Tavares, Passett. Tavares 1, Passett 2 goals on Saturday. Wait and see. So we got any more quick comments coming in then before we head off, because it's gone over now. So this is probably one of the shortest shows actually. Come on, Claudio. Any more quick?
Yeah, we've got Mark Kirkbride. Do you think the negative performances this season, as in Stoke, Bristol City and Leeds, were play related or tactic related because they were dreadful?
Bit of both.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, a bit of both.
I don't think, to be honest with you, the Stoke one, it wasn't brilliant, but first game of the season. It's just one of them. We've played a lot better, played a lot worse. It wasn't great, but it's first game of the season.
Mark Cunningham's gone for 3-1 City. Matt B reckons 4-4. I'm going for a high scoring game.
4-4. Love it.
That's been too short against Preston. That's what he's agreeing with then. And
there you go.
And Lee Beckett says, I think he's just joined the show. Evening CJ.
Good evening, Lee.
Hi, Lee.
Good evening.
If you're going by train, Preston has got a really nice platforms, haven't they? It's quite ornate, isn't it? I just thought I'd put that in there.
I'm sure most of the away end will really enjoy being on them around half time. Maybe 60 minutes in if we're optimistic.
Unbelievable. Right, and so before we go then, just some quick updates for you all. Claudio's got 2 new podcasts out. They're having a break for the next 2 weeks. Jim's on holiday, then Claudio's on holiday. So episode 17 is now available on our YouTube channel. Head over there. You can watch that now. If you're at work tomorrow or tonight and you want to listen to it, then head over to the Spotify channel of Sky Blue History Podcast with Jim Brown, the Coventry City FC historian, and episode 18 as well is out now, Sky Blue History Podcast. That is available. Billy Frith's career, goalkeepers and clean sheets. And episode 17 is about our award-winning programme that was even picked up from across the pond on another podcast that spoke about that podcast, which was absolutely brilliant. So we're well chuffed with that. We can't believe that's happened. If you want coach travel for Saturday or for any other game, Middlesbrough, Sunderland, Burnley, all the away games coming up this season, ccfctravel.co.uk. Head over there and you can get your seats on the coaches. And if you want parking anywhere around the country, also if you want parking for Coventry City at home and Coventry City away, then head over to coventryparking.co.uk. Please give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It'd be much appreciated. We do appreciate your support. You've been absolutely fantastic supporting our channel, and we love doing these shows. It really do. I'll tell you, Thursday night, I look forward to Thursday nights. It's great, and Sundays. It's just brilliant. So please keep subscribing and everything else. We will be doing another road show soon. We don't know when. We are trying to sort a few equipment details out because we want to get the next one really right and really smart. So we are in the process of sorting equipment out for our next road show, which will be great, and you can all come along. A few pubs in Coventry have offered their services for us, and we'll hopefully bring those to you very soon in the future. Any more last minute comments apart from Nation Radio?
On the up's gone for 1-0 City, and that's about it, I think. Yeah. Oh, if you wanted to listen on the Siege, we are fan cast on Monday night. I was on there, so you can listen back to that on Sounds.
Oh yeah, you can. That was all right. You were on with lovely Sue.
Yeah, it was good. I was all right, apart from I was shivering a bit because the studio was cold.
Oh. Has Clive had his haircut yet?
No.
Unbelievable. So, yeah. You're on again soon, aren't you?
November the 1st. I've got to say, though, Clive was very upbeat about the team still. He felt we're going to turn it around. He thinks it's just a matter of time, basically. So let's hope it is.
Let's hope so. What do you say, CJ? What do you reckon? Do you reckon you could be upbeat for it, like Clive?
You've got to be, haven't you?
You haven't you? You've got to be, haven't you? You really have got to be. It's just things have got to turn. And are we best to have a bad patch now than be Sunderland top of the league or second in the league and then go on a bad patch and just suddenly drop down the table? You'd be gutted, wouldn't you?
It worries me, to be honest with you, in a few weeks. It could be the year that they beat us. And it hasn't happened since, I think it's 18 years now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's 2006. So I think it was the last time. I think it could be the year, unfortunately.
Yeah. Matt B said, if we beat Preston, Clive should have his haircut. I think he has said he will have his haircut. So, Scandinavian Appreciation Society. Hello. Good evening. I don't know what time it is over in Norway. But who cares what nationality the England manager is? If we win the World Cup, he's the right man for the job. Yeah. There you go. But if it's England-Germany final, would he really want to beat his own country? Ooh, you never know, do you? Yeah, I would think so. Anyway, thank you, guys. We're going to call it a day there. Hope you've all had a great evening. Thank you, CJ, for joining us, because I know it was your anniversary yesterday, so many happy returns for yesterday. Congratulations. 3 years anniversary. Thanks for joining us, mate. And I know you've been travelling and everything else. And thanks for joining us on Sunday as well, live from over in... Who did we play again? I forgot. Finland. That's it, Finland. From over in Finland.
I was actually in Norway on Monday. Kind of. I was in the airport. I was in Oslo Airport for a few hours. But yeah.
Oh, wow. Brilliant. Excellent. Thanks for joining us as well for Sunday. That was brilliant stuff. And Claudio, thank you very much for joining us again. As usual, you'll be back on Sunday with Ken. Yeah. Hopefully, I will be here as well. If this cold goes. Still got this bloody cold. Celebrating. Let's hope we are celebrating, and hope Victoria's feeling a lot better, because I know she's very poorly at the moment as well. But thank you very much, everyone. Thanks, CJ. Thanks, Claudio. And we'll see you all again on Sunday. Let's hope we bring home 3 points from Deepdale. We've got to break this curse. Come on. It's Halloween soon. We've got to break this curse. We have to do it. Anyway, play up Sky Blues. We'll see you all on Sunday. Take care.
Yeah, play up Sky Blues.
Sky Blue Fans TV, for the fans, by the fans.